winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my.
Now we're cooking. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on.
All right, Coach. U.S. Bank Stadium holds just under 70,000 spectators, and they've come out in full force for this one. A fantastic atmosphere here in Minneapolis. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a fourth-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
For a lot of people, there are pros and cons to playing close to home in the NFL. But for Adam Thielen, it's nothing but pros. Grew up not too far from the Twin Cities, loves being a Viking, and is a really dependable third down receiver.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Cousins on 3rd and 2. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. A first down from Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
That throw's not going to get them a whole lot, but that really didn't matter, did it? They got what they needed on that throw. Picked up the first down, and I'm going cliche here. Game of inches, partner.
Absolutely. Well, and you talked to me a lot about opening drives, how key those are to set the tone. You kept the drive alive. Third down conversion here is big. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards on the dump-off at 2nd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Cousins now. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Running the jet sweep, this is Thielen with it. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
2nd and goal from the 1. To the air again, it's Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the former number 2 overall pick, Mitchell Trubisky.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time. And he got his respect, NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. And look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
What's the old adage, partner? Don't judge the book by its cover, because this guy, he takes the mantra that he'll go down with a brisk gust of wind and sets it on its head. Great effort there to break a tackle and come up with a nice gain.
Break it up. 54 miles. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. Hey, where to work? Where to work? Where to work? Where to work?
On first down, they go right back to Cohen. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Throwing on 2nd down. Trubisky nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Danielle Hunter, drops him. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. Steps away. Robinson's got it. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Pass, offense.
And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one, hence the decline.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches.
Here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass. Hey, switch gears. 18. Check three.
They'll run with a fullback. Use check. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. In lieu of the sneak on 4th and inches, they just say, give it to the big man in the backfield.
Yeah, fullback no less. Not many of those left in the NFL, but for those that have one, perfect time to use them. Perfect time to get it done.
Get up. 180. Mike 54. You ain't going nowhere.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Open man is Trey Burton. 16 yards is the pickup there and a 1st down for Chicago.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
54 Mike. Yo.
Looking to throw Trubisky on 1st down. This is Miller, complete. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's 3rd and goal.
Check 13. Hey, alert. Red, up.
Here's Davis, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And McManus able to put it through, and they are on the board but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Cousins firing quickly here, and that's complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw is Cousins. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. Now Cousins. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Cousins again. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 34-yard line. Cousins now 10 of 10 to start the game. How about that? As he comes up on a 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start things on first with Troy Cohen. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Trubisky. That's complete to Robinson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear 1st down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Brooklyn?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Trubisky will come up here 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. 1st down, a run with Cohen. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. I'm coming, baby, Woo! Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And you can almost feel Trubisky saying, let's get to the line and hurry up.
Watch out. 18.
They go play action with Trubisky. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Open man, Taylor Gabriel. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this 1st half. The 2nd half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, 2nd half. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but he got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run. This is Cohen. And an alley to run. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. He completes this into the hands of Miller. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find a soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So it's a third field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
No, they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
So here are the Vikings to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Leonard Floyd has now recorded 10 sacks on the season, and that'll be marked down as their first sack of the game.
Well, they had 6 last week. And this offense did its homework, didn't it? Because they saw all that pressure, and they really worked hard to tamp it down and beat it back. And they did a great job in the first half. But now they've gotten their first sack here in the second half. Look out. They'll try to increase the pressure.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. It was Roquan Smith who got his big hand in there to knock it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10 from the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Keep it up, guys. Mark 55! Mark 55!
On 1st down, Trubisky. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Now Trubisky to throw. And he slings one that's incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. Now the kicker fest continues. He's been good, though. Knocked through 4 of them now.
If you're the kickers for these two teams, you know what you're doing next week in practice?
Asking for a pay raise?
Yeah, besides that, you're walking in all the meeting rooms saying, you love us now, don't you? Now you love us because you need us, because that's all we've seen. Kickers scoring all the points.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They run it again with Cook. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying under double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. On 2nd and 9, Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and now it's third down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Cousins to throw it. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Now Cousins on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Skrine.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Switch.
Move. Alert.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Let's go, folks.
A gain of 15. First down, Bears.
Go! 180!
Mike 5-4.
Alert!
Now they'll run it with Cohen. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Showing it.
Hey, ball. Alert!
Watch 54. We don't want this.
Hey, check 24. Check your hot read.
Trubisky gives to Cohen. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by McManus is good. And that's going to up the lead to 15-10. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Oh, a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
3rd and long for Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to make it 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They try again with Cohen. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On 1st down. It's Cohen, and they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. 20. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 17th touchdown now on the season as the Bears push further out in front. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On first and 10, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Cousins under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The sack there by Roquan Smith. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. And this winds up a disaster, nowhere near the marker. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They'll run on first down. Cohen. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Just like that. Just like that.
Check 43. Switch. Lock in.
Again, it's Cohen. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
There he goes again. First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run it again here with Davis. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal.
Check. Motion to backfield. Motion to the backfield.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be second and goal coming up. From the 2 now, second and goal. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that is going to set up third and goal. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
On third down, a run with Cohen. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7.
Yeah, baby! Yeah!
So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Chicago, their winning ways continue as they get it up to